Sure is. Hello, my friends. If you are watching the replay, thank you for being here. You do not need a journal for this call specifically. We'll just be doing a lot of internal reflecting. And if you're live, we'll be sharing in the chat. So let's get into it. I did something a little different with my presentation today, guys. If you've been on my calls before, you know I usually go for like aesthetic, very cutesy, lots of words. Nope, not today. I'm going for more of a LFG vibe. So yeah, I hope you guys like it.
Wait, what does that mean? Just bare bones? Ayo. Oh. I hate you. Why'd you do
I know, I hate me
that? Why'd you
too.
gonna call me out like that? That's not funny.
Every slide has like some weird cringe picture. It's perfect. Okay.
My cut is straight. Yeah, for real.
It's gonna happen a few times throughout this presentation. All right. So I was thinking about topics for today, and this theme has been coming up in my reality a lot with myself, yes, but also with a lot of my clients. And I was like, you know what? I'm making everyone focus on the wound of self-abandonment. Everyone needs to do it. We're all doing it in some way, even if it's small. Unless you're perfect and you don't struggle, you know? So today we're going to talk about self-abandonment because it shows up in every area of our life. And a lot of times we don't even realize that's happening. So let's start there. At this point, guys, I need you in the chat. So please put on your listening ears. We're going to be all in the chat today. So self-abandonment, let's get right into it. Number one, what does abandonment mean to you? Without Googling it, please drop in the chat. What is your definition of abandonment? What does it mean to abandon someone? Drop it in the chat. If you ask Google or Chat GPT, I swear. Let's see. When old Mike gets the milk and never comes back. Yeah. Oh, God. See, here we go. Neglecting your needs, their needs. Yep. To walk away from someone. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Give me a few more, guys. I said we're going to be in the chat. Come on your toesies. What does it mean to you? Working against yourself. There we go. Leaving behind something or someone. Yes. Beautiful. Neglecting. Yep. Abandoning promises. That's a good one, Mike. Being lazy and not taking care of yourself. Not listening to myself or others. Basically lazy in disrespect to others and self. Yes. You promise to show up and be present and provide support. Yep. And when it's most needed and it's not there and people are left hanging. Yes. So good. There you go, guys. Ah, beautiful. Lacking commitment. Emmanuel, it's like you wrote this presentation with me. I talk about that a lot. Comes with a sense of knowing what the needs are too, but not addressing them. Exactly. Like there's awareness there. Like you know what the needs are, but you are ignoring them, whether it's someone else's or your own. Okay. Beautiful, guys. Okay, let's keep going. I'm sorry. My mouth. Now, what do you think self-abandonment is? So if you kind of mentioned it in the chat, I need you to hone in a little bit. Don't think about anyone else. Think about yourself. What does it mean when you abandon yourself? Drop it in the chat. For a couple of you, this may be repetitive, but when you abandon yourself, what are you doing? Not prioritizing me. Yep. 100%. What else we got? Pushing my emotions aside to make someone else comfortable. So good. Yep. Stop practicing self-love. Yes, so good. Back to old habits, reinforcing old identities. Yes. You guys are on fire today. Not providing for your own needs and making excuses to avoid putting in effort. Being lazy and not taking care of my health or listening to myself. Basically disrespect. Yes. Self-disrespect, man. So good. Love it. Look at you guys paying attention and participating. Oh my gosh. I feel so validated. Yeah, because that's definitely why I made this call. Lack of self-honor. Yep. Ooh, that's another good one. Self-honor. Wow. Look at this, guys. You see how hype we get when you guys participate? It's almost like that's all we want. It's crazy. Yes, so everything that's been dropped in the chat is very, very accurate. Okay, so keep that top of mind because we're going to come back to that a little bit later. Need to engage in my next call. Okay, how we abandon ourselves within. We abandon ourselves within different areas in our life, right? So number one, in work setting, I know you guys do this a fucking lot. I do it, and I'm an entrepreneur. So when we abandon ourselves within our work settings, we tend to do things like maybe do more work than we're getting paid for, or literally doing work that's not in our job description, but we don't want to upset our lead or our boss, and we want to be a high performer, right? Or maybe there's someone that constantly crosses your boundaries, or strikes petty things with you at work and you don't say anything. That's a form of self-abandonment within the workplace. Maybe you have actually legitimately been grinding your ass off for years and you have not gotten a raise, you have not gotten a promotion, and you haven't said anything about it. That is self-abandonment. It happens so much, guys. Maybe you come into work early and you stay late, and again, you're not getting compensated for it, right? Maybe your boss just has no respect for you at all with the way that they speak to you or treat you, and you're not saying anything. All of those things are amazing examples of self-abandonment. Okay. Maybe you kill yourself and ignore your own capacity and legitimately don't prioritize rest. There's a difference between being productive and killing yourself. There's a big difference. They're not the same, actually, right? So when we do that, we're putting our needs energetically, mentally, emotionally on the back burner. So there's so many ways that we can abandon ourselves when it comes to the work environment, right? Okay, great. So next, family relationships. Holy shit, guys, just because someone is your mom or your dad or your grandma or your auntie, that does not mean that they just naturally have the right to disrespect you or talk over you or treat you less than you deserve to be treated or overstep your boundaries. That's not what that means, right? Family actually should be the one place that we can go to get the respect that we deserve. Your age has nothing to do with it. Someone can be 40 years older than you. Respect is a two-way street, right? So when we tolerate those instances in our family relationships, we are abandoning ourselves because we're abandoning what we need mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that is. And sometimes even physically, if people disrespect our space, even I see this a lot with families when there's a lot of people under one roof. There's, oh, I'm just going to walk into your room, or I'm just going to be inconsiderate of your time and your space, right? So we're constantly being disrespected and abandoning ourselves in those situations because we're not speaking up, right? It is no one else's job to speak up for our boundaries. We have to do that. So when we don't do that, we are abandoning a part of ourselves, okay? Romantic relationships. My goodness, the toxicity. Jesus, right? How many times have you guys abandoned yourself in a romantic relationship? Go drop in chat. Let's be vulnerable here. How many times have you done it? What have you done? Examples of how we can abandon ourselves in romantic relationships. Maybe your needs are not getting met, but you don't say anything. Well, that's my boyfriend, or that's my girlfriend, or my husband, or my wife, so it's okay. No, it's actually not. That should be the person that respects them the most, right? All out of all of them. Emmanuel, I did it for 3 years straight. Friend, I did it for 10 years straight, so don't worry about it. It's okay. I feel like we've all done it in some capacity, right? Like whatever that person did in that dynamic, we've all experienced it at least once. Or if you're like me, like 3 times, because we don't learn our lessons. And the same lesson keeps coming back until you finally learn it, right? So we're constantly ignoring our own needs, ignoring our own boundaries for the sake of someone else. It's like, but I love them. Maybe you're constantly getting disrespected and treated poorly, not prioritized, and you stay in the relationship. That is self-abandonment. You refusing to leave someone that is unhealthy for you is a big form of self-abandonment, right? So just notice that. Our goals, man, this is a big one. We don't think about this a lot when it comes to our goals, right? But we abandon ourselves a ton when it comes to our goals. And the way that this shows up typically is when, let's say you set this goal and it's beginning of the year, so it's good timing. Let's say you set this goal for, I don't know, end of 2025 or beginning of 26, right? The minute you start slacking on how you need to show up for yourself in order to reach said goal, that is a form of self-abandonment, right? when you have a goal, or let's say you have a normal routine that you typically follow, the minute you start slacking on those habits, those daily habits that you have instilled to kind of keep yourself with a sense of routine, the minute you stop those is self-abandonment. Now, don't get me wrong, like you have to use your discernment here. I'm not saying like if you're genuinely, let's say you're genuinely overwhelmed or sick or whatever, and you do need to hit pause on some things, that is different. But use your discernment and make sure you're not essentially, you know, bullshitting yourself to a point where you start to abandon your goals and your habits. Okay. So again, it's circumstantial, of course, but we have to be honest with ourselves and have enough autonomy to call ourselves out and say, hey, I'm bullshitting myself right now. I know that I could be showing up better for myself, right? And so when you are abandoning yourself, right, you're abandoning your future self and your present self. You're abandoning your future self when you don't show up for your goals, when you don't show up for your habits. When you abandon those, you're abandoning future self. Because when we create goals, we have a future version of ourselves in our mind. That is the whole point of the goal, is to become a different version of us, whether that is a healthier version, a wealthier version, a happier version, a more respected version, whatever. But you have this image in your mind of future self. And the minute you fall back on your goals, your habits, your boundaries, right, you are abandoning that version of you. And also simultaneously abandoning this present version of yourself. Because we can't find future self until we find present self, right? Until we peel back the layers within ourselves presently, we're not going to get to that point B. So just notice when you fall back and you're like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine that I haven't done that in 2 months. It's okay. How are you going to get to that future self if there's no presence right now? And being honest with yourself, having autonomy, having vulnerability within yourself is what is going to get us there. Okay. So make sure you're not abandoning yourself. Now, we're going to go a little bit deeper with sharing here, guys. I would love to know. Now we're back in the chat. Okay. So not to point the finger, but where in your life are you currently abandoning yourself? Just be honest. We're here to share and take up space and hold space for each other. Drop it in the chat. Where in your life are you abandoning yourself currently? That was deep, Mike. Like text me that or something so I don't forget it. So guys, this is where we become honest and vulnerable with ourselves and each other. Drop it in the chat. Let's see. Anthony says work. Beautiful. We appreciate the honesty. What else you guys got? Where in your life are you abandoning yourself? I'm definitely abandoning myself in my business model. That's just fucking hilarious. Didn't see that coming at all. I've noticed mostly nutrition. Yep. There you go. Let's go, guys. Be honest. More honesty, more honesty. The more honesty that we share, the more we can help you guys. Okay. What else we got? Going deeper into entrepreneurship with scaling the business. With sleep and recovery. Yeah, man, that's like a non-negotiable, dude. Because if we don't have proper sleep and recovery, we're just not going to make enough progress. We're not going to see a ton of gains in the gym either. Let's see. I would say I'm definitely abandoning myself with work and sleep. There we go. Honesty, honesty. Honesty breeds success. Let's go. Self-love, is that considered one? Hell yeah, girl. Absolutely. Absolutely self-love is. So how are you, Lisa, I'm just curious, can you get like, because that's a very like broad theme. How are you abandoning yourself when it comes to self-love? If you don't mind sharing, mind you. Okay, we got some good shares in here. Beautiful, beautiful. So basically everyone's abandoning themselves. Love that. That's potentially problematic, guys. Not celebrating the wins. Mike, you're the fucking worst at that, dude. Get it together, brother. Like, genuinely, you need to get your shit together, dude. You have come so far. Guys, when I met Mike, like, I don't know how, almost 2 years ago? Has it been that long? It's been a while. Guys, when I first met Mike, he was not this regulated, focused, concentrated, perpetually healing, divine man that he is right now. He was a little fuck around when I first met him. And now he's just like in this amazing spot mentally, spiritually, energetically, financially, and I'm so proud of him. And I'm just gonna like call him out right here because I know that it makes men uncomfortable to when you praise them, especially in front of other people. So, Michael, I'm so proud of you. You're the shit, and I love you so much. And I need you to notice your wins more. Okay, work on that for me.
I will. I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's enough stage time for Mike. What else we got in here? Maybe not standing up for myself as much as I should be. Yes, there you go. Manuel, you're on fire tonight, my friend. Like, genuinely, you're on fucking fire. I was wondering if anyone was going to say this. Defending yourself and standing up for yourself is the best way that you can show up for you. So when we're not doing that, we are literally abandoning ourselves. I have a little quick, I don't want to call it a meditation, a quick visualization for you guys once everyone's finished dropping their stuff in the chat. I tend to have hella people-pleasing tendencies. Yeah, you don't say. No shit. Honestly, I do not like to look at myself in the mirror up until recently. Well, okay, so at least there's growth there, right? Definitely notice that, Lisa. There's growth there, okay? And I think this is a very common thing, which is why most of you guys are here in this program. So it's okay as long as it's getting better. I actually have a really cool activity, Lisa, if you're open to it. I was using this when I first started working on my relationship to myself and my body. So what you'll do is you'll go into the bathroom and try to do this like 3 times a week. You will go into the bathroom, close the door, and you are going to stare in the mirror, like make eye contact with yourself and say, I love you out loud verbally. It's going to make your skin crawl the first few times you do it, and you might even cry. But the point is to eventually get to a point where you can look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you, and not falter and actually mean that. All right. If you want to take it a layer deeper, do it naked. You want to talk about self-love, baby? Do it naked. That one works really, really well. Okay. Don't give don't give myself enough credit. I feel like this is a man thing for sure. I see this so much with the men I coach. Never enough, never enough. Yep. Men, you guys are killing. I just want you guys to know, like, you are fucking killing it in the world. You show up for us, you show up for your kids, your family, your loved ones. Like, you show up for everyone. We see you and we appreciate you. At least the healed feminine sees you. So you are doing enough. I just want to let you know that. You're very welcome, Lisa. It makes me cry every time. I know, right? It's a really good activity to do. You got to keep doing it until you stop crying. Beautiful work, guys. I love this. Okay. So real quick, I didn't say this in the chat earlier because I didn't want to scare anybody away. We're gonna do a quick visualization. It's not gonna take long. It's literally gonna take like maybe 3 minutes max. Okay. So I would love for you guys, and I'm gonna stop yelling so you feel more regulated. I would love for you guys to just close your eyes now really quickly. Okay, we're only gonna be here for like 3 minutes, so just be present with me for a second, okay? Close your eyes down. And of course, first, you're gonna take a big breath in through the nose. Taking as much air as you can before you exhale through your mouth. Empty out all of the air. You're gonna do that 2 more times, in through the nose, as much as you can, and then out through the mouth. Sink a little bit deeper into your chair, and 1 more breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep your eyes gently closed. It's okay if they flutter a little bit. And I want you guys to bring to mind what you just dropped in the chat when I asked you, where are you abandoning yourself? Just bring that to mind. Whatever you see is perfect. And I want you to clearly visualize an example of how you've abandoned yourself recently. Visualize the setting, the environment, the scenery, what you were doing there, how you abandoned yourself in that moment. I want you to sink into that memory. And if you don't feel fully present in it, maybe try 1 more deep breath to sink into the seat beneath you. And once you have that memory there, I want you to welcome someone into your memory. And you are going to welcome in your inner child. So within that memory you just pulled up, you see a younger version of you coming. Just a little you, maybe between the ages of 5 and even 10. Visualize that little you fully, the clothes they have on, how their hair looks, their facial expression, their energy, their emotions, if they're wearing shoes. Visualize your inner child very clearly in that memory with you abandoning yourself. And I just want you to notice what's present in little you as you've abandoned yourself. Because the unfortunate reality is that if you have abandoned yourself, you have abandoned that inner child. And that inner child needs you desperately. Hold that picture in your mind. And as you move forward, I want you to remember, whenever you abandon yourself, you're abandoning little you. You're abandoning little Anthony, little Lisa, little Emmanuel, little Mike, little Dylan. You are abandoning that inner child every time you don't show up for yourself. And now in your mind's eye, if there's anything that your inner child wants to say or ask, hold space for that. Just for a second. And if they don't need anything from you right now, I want you to tell them that you love them, you appreciate them, and give them a hug. And then I want you all to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth at your own pace before you come back to the present moment. And once you're back here with me, please just drop a 1 in the chat. Good job, guys. So, this is what I like to call a healthy guilt trip. I coined this term. No one made it up. It's not on Psychology Today. This is a healthy guilt trip. So whenever you do things in your life moving forward after today, and you abandon yourself in that moment, whether it's related to work, finances, family, friends, I don't care, remember who you're letting down, right? You might have gotten older and grown up, but those parts of us, it's called parts work. You can look it up. Those parts of us still exist inside of our head, inside of our mind. Okay. So when you're abandoning you, you're abandoning little you. And little you literally just needs you. That's literally it. You are the person today that little you would have needed. And so we cannot abandon that part of ourselves. Yeah. Well, see, Anthony, this is the thing. When I do things like this, I no longer preface it like, hey guys, you might cry, because then people don't want to do it. So I just don't preface it anymore. So we had some tears. Beautiful. I love that. And that's great, right? Because that's a beautiful, healthy connection that just happened inside of you. That's the only reason those tears come up. Did anyone else experience anything emotional during that quick little visualization? And that was just 3 minutes. Mike got a little bit there. Yeah. Yeah. And that gives you like evidence and proof, guys, that these old parts of us, these old wounds, they need attention. You are a much more mature and aware and cognizant version of yourself right now, right? And you're in a container like this. So use that to nurture those old parts of you. And by the way, if anyone wants to do like a one-on-one visualization session with any past parts of you, please let me know. It's one of my favorite meditations to host. I got you. Crying in the club. Yes, I always do it for my inner child. Beautiful. Crying currently. That's okay, Dylan. Get it, baby. I fully expected you to cry, actually. Keep it. Yes. Good job, guys. Good job, Lisa. In the club, we all cry together. I fucking love you. Ooh. Yeah, that's okay, Ali. You're doing great, babe. You're doing great. This is part of the process. This is part of the journey. That's why you guys are in a program like this. It's not just fitness, it's everything underneath the umbrella, right? It's the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. That's why you're here. You wanted expansion, baby? That's why we are here. We are here to create change within ourselves, within the world, within the community. And it requires vulnerability and it requires us to feel our emotions sometimes. And I just want to let you guys know you are so freaking blessed to have mindset coaches in your community that are actual mindset coaches and don't just say it because it sounds cute. This is rare, guys. Most communities don't have someone like me or someone like Mike who has done his own work. You guys are blessed. So please take advantage of us. Okay. That's my little side quest. I'm gonna come back to the chat now. Dylan, you're fine, babe. Okay, guys, if we're still feeling a little bit, can we be honest with me for 1 second? I'm gonna let you guys go early, so don't worry about that. Be honest with me for a second. Drop a 1 in the chat if you still have some emotions lingering from that quick visualization, please, so I can help you. I don't mean you need to be sobbing. If you have any emotions still present, drop a 1 in the chat. I'm not gonna call you out, baby. I'm not gonna call anyone out personally. Okay, good. So pretty much everyone's still feeling a little bit of something. Okay. Is everyone open to me doing another quick 2 to 3 minute visualization? It's gonna ground you. It's not gonna make you sad. Is everyone open to that? I'll make it quick. I had it when you told me the mirror exercise. Lisa, I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, let's do a quick little bit of grounding because I think I only have 1 slide left and I'm gonna let you guys go early. I knew this would be an emotional one, so I didn't make it long. I just didn't tell you guys that. Okay. Shut the eyes down. Gently close those eyes, my loves. I want you guys to do a very slow 6-second inhale through the nose at your own pace. 6-second inhale through the nose. 6-second exhale through the mouth. You're going to repeat that 2 more times. 6-second inhale through the nose. 6-second exhale through the mouth. Slow your breath. You're going to do 1 more the same way. 6-second inhale through the nose. And then the slowest exhale you can manage. And as you exhale, I want you to feel your body sink into your seat just a little bit deeper. The only thing you see in your mind is darkness. It's just you in your head. That's it. We're going to do 1 more breath, but this time at the top, I want you guys to hold it as long as you can. So take a big breath in through the nose, as much air as you can take in. And then you're going to hold it at the top for 5 seconds before you exhale through the mouth. And on this next part, guys, don't feel silly. I just need you to be present. You're going to place a hand over your heart and just apply just a little bit of pressure, just a little. I have some clients that like to rub their heart space a little bit, which is fine if you feel comfortable doing that. And with that hand over your heart space, I want you guys to say out loud, I am safe. I am held. I am protected. I am safe. I am held. I am protected. And say it out loud 2 more times. I am safe. I am held. I am protected. And after you say that 3 times, take 1 more breath in through the nose, no specific count. Exhale through the mouth. And notice that you feel a little bit more grounded, a little calmer. And when you feel ready and present back with me in this moment, please drop a 1 in the chat. Beautiful. Do we feel a little bit better, guys? Just a smidge less sad or emotional? And just say yes or no. That's pretty much it. Do you feel better? Now at a 9.6. Yeah, baby. Let's go. I'm like the grounding queen, honestly. I think it's just my energy. Good job, guys. Beautiful. Perfect. So if you're ever feeling low or even like a little anxious, please steal that. Also, this is recorded, so you can just watch this back. Take that, right? Whatever big emotion you're experiencing, the minute we deepen our breath and get rid of outside stimulation, so like what we're looking at, the sound, like that's all extra stimulation. So if we're feeling a little dysregulated, get rid of the stimulation, close your eyes, get grounded somewhere, and focus on those deep breaths. The longer the breath, the longer the retention, the longer the release. Sorry, the better the release, okay? So steal that. All right. I honestly think that's like, do I have 1 more slide, guys? Oh, I do have 1 more, sorry. I wanted to tie it back into, and also Mike has a really solid breath work for that for you guys, if you want it. So ask Coach Mike. Okay, so last slide here, guys. I obviously had to tie it back into fitness somehow because I get on my woo-woo spiritual high horse too much. I'm like, Ashley, you're in a fitness community. So here I am tying this back to fitness. So coming back to the self-abandonment wound, right? This shows up so much in fitness. It's crazy. We just don't acknowledge it as self-abandonment because we usually view it as overwhelm, right? Or, well, life is too crazy. I just can't do this right now. In those moments when life is crazy or life has, thrown a monkey wrench into your plans or whatever, why would you abandon yourself? That's like counterproductive. So life is already going crazy. No one's showing up for you. People are letting you down. Life is letting you down. And you're going to add to the fire and let yourself down. That makes no sense, guys. That makes no sense, right? So when life does get crazy, the first thing you do is prioritize you. Because when shit hits the fan, the only person that's going to come in and fix everything is you. So we don't want to abandon ourselves. And when we give up on our fitness journey, that is self-abandonment because you came into this program or whatever, outside of this program, you came into a fitness goal because you wanted to be a better version of you, right? And the minute life gets crazy, we tend to take that goal and say, well, fuck it, that's not important anymore. But you had that vision for a reason. So we need to keep aligning with that, right? There's a difference between scaling back a bit to accommodate life versus quitting. Okay. And we don't want to abandon ourselves in the moments when we need us the most, literally. Okay. So something I always see, Mike sees, all the fitness coaches in the world have seen. There's always a point along your fitness journey where either life throws a monkey wrench at you or you start to feel unmotivated. This is common. This is normal. This is where most people abandon themselves by giving up on their fitness journey. Whether that's, oh, I hit a plateau, or, oh, I'm too sore. I don't want to do these workouts. Or, oh, I just don't feel motivated anymore. By the way, guys, motivation is a feeling, so we can't rely on it. There you go. I haven't been motivated since 95. Come on. All right. This is the point where either one of two things happen. This person keeps going and is successful in their fitness journey, or this person quits and never gets there. And maybe starts over and over and over again and tries the fitness journey thing like 20 times, but is never successful with it. That point where shit gets hard is literally the valley, right? But instead of viewing it as a valley, how about we view it as an integration point, right? Because if we view it as an integration point, then that puts you in the mindset of, oh, okay, life is getting a little bit challenging. I need to use my tools, whether that's your coach or resources we've given you or regulation tools. Regulate yourselves, please, right? But that's when you reach into your bag and you pull the tools out. That is not when you abandon yourself. That's literally the opportunity for you to implement the most things you've learned. If you think about it, is it a valley or is it an opportunity to implement what you already know? I know, right? It's crazy. So this pitfall is normal for everyone. You're gonna cross it eventually. I've crossed it many a times. And if you know that that's gonna come, then your number one goal should be to make sure that you do not abandon yourself in that valley / integration point, right? And I really would challenge you guys to continue to view these low points, these hard seasons, these valleys, literally as integration points, because when you view it that way, it removes the negative connotation that life should always be easy and happy and joyful, which is bullshit, because that doesn't exist, right? So when life gets hard, that's when you reach into your bag and you pull out your tools, you pull out your resources, and it's time to integrate. That is how you show up for self. That is how you don't abandon self. Okay. Totally lost where I was at here. Cool. So the only difference between the people that give up and the people that push through is that the latter refuse to abandon their future self, right? Like I've already prefaced. They are committed to a better version of themselves, regardless of how hard life gets, right? Think about it. If you were in a romantic relationship and you really love this person, you were head over heels for them, you thought they were the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And then their life started to get a little challenging, right? Maybe things just started falling through the cracks for them. Would you just like leave and just break up with them? No. You would literally probably, if I know you, you would pour more into them. You would support them more. You would show up for them more. We do that for everyone else except for our fucking selves. Make it make sense, right? You got to show up for you if you want the end goal. So how does this show up, right? Putting on your nutrition, your workouts, your steps, your stress management, etc. That's a form of self-abandonment, guys, right? Because you came here with a goal to be a better you. You didn't come here and say, you know what's a good way to waste money? I'm going to give Mike $400. I'm going to give him $400 a month. Whatever the fuck he charges. I'm just going to throw my money away. That's not why you came here. You came here to be a better version of you. So stop abandoning her. Stop abandoning him. You deserve better than that, right? And I want to just throw away this delusion that it's supposed to be easy. The journey is simple, yes, but there's a big difference between simple and easy, okay? Changing is hard. Growing is hard. That's the whole point of this life, right? We can pull it back to the universal law of exchange, okay? You guys can go Google it. You can look it up. It's not something I pull out of my ass. It exists. Because everything is energy. So if you want this new body, this new financial status, this new relationship, whatever, that costs something in exchange. It costs your effort. It costs your time. It costs your old self. You cannot walk into a new life bringing the old you. The math is not mathing. You can't bring the old you into a new version of you. One of you guys got to go. So who are you going to choose? Keep falling into the old self, the ego, the old habits, or relinquish that and walk into the highest version of you. You cannot have both, guys. I'm sorry. That's like saying I want to live on pizza and ice cream and chocolate chip cookies, but I still want abs. What? That makes no sense. Something has to be sacrificed, whether it be little or big, but something is going to have to be sacrificed, right? There is no breakthrough without the breakdown first. Whoever tries to feed you the bullshit of you can do this easily. No, it's going to cost the old version of you, right? You see it all the time in like nature. We literally see it all the time in nature, but we don't apply it to ourselves. The last thing to to blossom on a fruit tree is the fruit. When you make wine, you take the grapes, you crush, you pulverize the grapes down to nothingness, dude. And then there's this whole fermentation process. Everything in our reality mirrors that there's an exchange of energy. If you want something better, it's going to cost you what was old and what's not serving you anymore. That is why we're here in these containers, right? Your future self is going to cost you your old self. And that's just that. So don't think that easy and simple are the same, because they are not. The concept of fitness is simple. Yeah, it's really easy. Sorry, it's really simple. It's not easy because you have to change completely who you are in order to get that next level thing. Okay? So that's my little rant about how we abandon ourselves in fitness. Great. That's all I got, guys. And I'm done 10 minutes early. Boom. So I want you guys to just think about this. You don't have to, unless you already have it in your brain, you can share it now. But I just want you to start thinking about, how do you plan to start self-correcting this? So we've identified where you're abandoning self. We've identified how it's showing up. So the next step in the work, because it takes work, is how do you plan to start self-correcting? If anyone already knows, you can drop it in the chat. But this might be something that you need to reflect on. And again, just be really, really honest with yourself. Maybe you need to have a conversation with Coach Mike. Maybe you need to have a conversation with me. But how are you going to start self-correcting? Or are we just going to keep in this same little crazy diabolical cycle that's literally the definition of insane, doing the same shit over and over again, expecting a different result? How are we going to self-correct now? Think about that. Or don't. It's your life. I'm not Hitler. What do you guys got? Anyone want to share? Does anyone know how they're going to start self-correcting? Or are we just going to ponder this for the next perpetual future?
Regulate harder.
Yes, 1000%.
I guess for people in the chat too, I guess, because I see this come up a lot. So letting go of your old identities, how can you spot old identities popping up and rearing its old head? And you sneaking into old habits without noticing it, because there's someone else I was talking to, and it's like, I see it, well, more people, but regardless, it's to validate your old identity. So how would you suggest for people to become aware of it and get out of it, of old identity and habits?
Honestly, it really does, a lot of times, it really does become very, very subconscious. And unless you're all super enlightened and shit, you won't even see it mirrored in your reality, but it's always fucking mirrored in your, always. If like, once you put the glasses on, you can see it everywhere. Like, you're like, holy shit, self-abandonment, self-abandonment, self-abandonment. That's great. So me personally, I literally would just be very intentional about checking in with yourself and reflecting. If that's, I feel like weekly is kind of a lot. Let's say like once a month, you guys are intentional about checking in with yourself. Like, hey, have I been falling back into any old identities? Have I been falling back into any old habits? Are there any areas of my life where I'm self-abandoning? I would literally ask yourself those 3 questions once a month. And because otherwise it can become very subconscious, especially when it's so normal to the nervous system. It feels safe and comfortable. A lot of times you won't even notice it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be really, really intentional about calling yourself out with love and just checking in with yourself intentionally, right? I mean, but again, everything is intention-based. This is intention-based. So you guys have to become so intentional with yourself that you can catch it before you look up and you're like, fuck, this has been going on for a year and I didn't even realize it. So I think literally creating intentional space with yourself and asking yourself those questions like once a month is the best way to be preventative.
So talking to yourself often.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just live my life and,
Literally same.
just process all the fucking time and don't stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very easy, especially when the nervous system is so accustomed to a certain way that you live and show up. Even if that is poor, even if that's bad for you, if that's bad for your mental, if bad for your body, it doesn't matter. Like, familiar to the nervous system equates to good, to safe, even if it's bad. So that's why we have to be so intentional about literally checking ourselves and saying, wait a minute. I've been doing this for like the last few weeks. I should probably like get this shit back under control. So guys, I would literally just be intentional once a month. Like, hey, am I falling into any old habits or identities? And just keep doing that. That's it.
Voice memos help a lot.
Bro, the amount of voice memos I have, like and they're all like self-reflective realizations.
And then the ones you sent to me, they're like the same the same vibe.
Yes, 100%. Dude, I have so many in here. How the healed masculine softens, mirrors with God, grief, new love. Like there's just so much like that. This is the guys, if you don't do voice memo, like journal entries, you're really missing out. Because like once you start talking to yourself out loud, things you're like your neurons just start firing and just more shit comes to the surface that you didn't realize was there. So 10 out of 10. Let's see what we got in the chat.
Short stories. Interesting.
Accountability, yes. Accountability partners and listen more. Yep. And guys, if you feel like you need extra accountability from whether it's Coach Mike or maybe a friend or a family member, just ask. Just literally just ask. I mean, you're paying him. You might as well ask him if you need more accountability. Just saying. Be honest with others about my internal experience. Yes, girlfriend. Stop people, please. Guys, stop fucking people, please. Jesus Christ.
These others. Yes, Dylan.
Care about yourself more. It's not selfish. It's self-respect. It is not selfish. Stop abandoning yourself for others. I'll stop doing it because every time I self-abandon, I'm saying no to the needs of my inner child. Yep, and that breaks my heart every time. I told you, a healthy guilt trip really works. Write short stories. Ooh, it's nice. I love that. Journaling has been huge for me, but voice memos are such a good idea. Yeah, just try it out and see how you like it. Don't get me wrong, handwritten journaling is amazing because it just connects to both sides of the brain. But like when you're just word vomiting, so much more comes to the surface when you're just talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh my God, what just happened on my screen? Okay, I'm going to stop recording now.